Hi everybody, it's Miss Lorenz, and I'm going to go over the Lesson 4 work for Unit 1. So we're going to start with number 1, finding the area of the parallelograms. So let me get a different color here. How about this blue? This is a nice blue. All right, so in parallelogram A, I'm going to call this side right here that's right along the grid lines, I'm going to call that the base. And so I know to find the area of a parallelogram, I have to take base times height. And so the base is 5, the height is 3. And so I know that the area of that first parallelogram is 15 square units. The second parallelogram has this tiny little base. I'm going to choose that for the base because it's right along the grid lines. And so I'm going to multiply 2 times the height. To get the height, I went to this opposite vertex. I went straight down, perpendicular line. So it formed a right angle down here where it met the imaginary base that I extended. And it's a height of 6, and 2 times 6 is 12 square units. All right, let's go to C. C has some nice measurements given to us. I want you to notice this measurement right here, 4.5 units for this side of the parallelogram. I don't want to use that in this case because I need a base height pair that are perpendicular to one another. So I'm going to use this pair, the base of 6 and the height of 4, and that gives me an area of 24 square units. All right, the next one asks us to decompose and rearrange the parallelogram to make a rectangle. So to do that, I'm taking this chunk of the parallelogram, that nice triangle, and I'm moving it over here. And when I do so, it creates this rectangle. And to find the area of that rectangle, I would do 9 times 5, length times width, which gives me 45 square units. I would do the same thing if I was just finding the area of a parallelogram. Of course, I'd do base times height. The base is 9. The height, I would find this measure right here. And of course, there's multiple heights, infinite number of heights to be exact. So no matter where I put the height, perpendicular to the base, I'm going to get that it's 5. 9 times 5, of course, is 45. Find the area of this parallelogram. So once again, you guys, I want you to notice that 3.2 is given to us, but we don't need it. So a lot of times you'll see this on an assessment and students think, well, if it's there, if there's a number there, then I have to use it in some way. No, you don't. You need a base height pair that are perpendicular to one another. And so right here, there's this little right angle, perpendicular. 10 times 3 are the numbers that I need. So that area is 30. These are centimeters squared. Number 4, we had to find the area of these figures. These are kind of fun to work with. And so what I did here, I just want to explain my work. I noticed that there were 4 identical triangles. So that's where that 4 comes in. And then each triangle is half. That's where this part comes in, the divided by 2. Half of a 2 by 2 square. And so a 2 by 2 square would have an area of 4, and half of 4 is 2. And so I'm going to end up taking 4 times 2 here. 4 times 2 is 8, plus one group of 2 by 2, or one group of 4. And so I'm taking 8 plus 4, and I'm going to get 12 units squared. All right, in the next one, I'm going to decompose and rearrange. So I have this chunk right here, and I'm going to move it over and make, wow, that's kind of messy. Let me see if I can redo that for you guys. I'm going to get my pen back. I'm going to take one of these chunks. Let's take this one right here, and let's move it over. And so we're creating that rectangle, which is a 1 by 4 rectangle. We're doing the same thing here. We're going to take this triangle here, move it over, make a rectangle that's 5 by 3. So we have a 1 by 4 plus a 5 by 3, or 4 plus 15. So that's going to have an area of 19 square units. All right, last one. We're finding the area of rectangles that have the following lengths. So you could have drawn these on grid paper. I think that might have helped you. An area that, or a rectangle has a 5-inch by a 1/3 inch. That means there's 5 groups of 1/3. I like to think of it like how it would look. And each of these is not a total unit. Each of these is just a third of a unit, right? Because it's 5 by a third. And so there's 5 1/3, and 5 1/3 would be 5 thirds. And 5 thirds is, of course, 1 2/3. And these are inches squared. The next one is 5 times 4/3. So in this case, each of these is not a third. Each of these is 4/3. So we've got a 4/3, 4/3, 4/3, 4/3, 4/3, which is a total of 20/3. And 20/3 could also be thought of as 6 2/3. And again, these are square inches. You might be noticing that what I'm doing is I'm multiplying the numerator straight across and the denominator straight across. So I'm going to do that here in this third example, 5/2 times 4/3. I'm just going to multiply 5 times 4. And then to get the size of the part, I'm going to multiply 2 times 3. So we're talking about 6ths this time. So I have 26ths total. And 26, I don't think you can see that. 26 is equal to 3 2/6, which is also known as, let's move that out of the way, 3 1/3. See how I'm kind of getting messed, running out of room here. How about I do some erasing? Let's do that. All right. So this last one then, 7/6 times 6/7. Well, it's kind of cool because you're just multiplying reciprocals. 7 times 6 is 42, and 6 times 7 is 42. And anytime you multiply reciprocals like this, you end up with 1 whole. So that would be 1 whole square inch. All right, I hope that turned out and that helps you guys, and you are, you're doing great. Thanks for listening.